different for me.
Okay, and again, there can be good days and bad days, but in general, how are we doing?
I think this turning yeah, the square.
Well, as long as you get a foot in there, generally in the neighborhood, that's all that counts here. Okay. Okay, Selena, she's got in the middle. So Selena, describe, how does your dynamics that you're kind of in the middle? What's going on?
I respect my parents and I respect what they do. I respect everything they do for me and everything like that. And I'm grateful for everything they do. But sometimes when they promise me to do stuff, that they're going to do stuff with me, they don't keep their promises. Almost always.
Okay. And that hurts you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, how does that make you feel when that happens?
I get really mad, and then they wonder why I stay in my room constantly.
Because you're hurt, right? What does that hurt though? What does that mean when they don't fulfill their promise? What does that? How does that?
Because they don't really care about what they promised to me.
All right. Their word, you can't count on their word. Do you realize that that is a sense of security? If you can't count on someone's word, you start to feel uncertain, right? You don't feel like, gee, you know, they say something, is that really going to happen, or is it not going to happen? You start to feel that insecurity. That insecurity hurts, right? So we sometimes have tough situations at home, right? We can't change our parents, but sometimes there's things that we can do that create awareness that maybe they don't realize. Creating that awareness might help them to rethink the priorities. Maybe they're under a lot of pressure and they say things that they want to please you, but they make promises they can't keep, right? Maybe it's with the best of intentions, but the end result is it hurts, right? Okay, so what could be something that we could do if we have parents that maybe tend to promise a lot and don't follow through? What would be something we could do without hurting them that might create some awareness for them to understand what you're going through? What would be something we could do? Yes?
Explain how it makes you feel when you get excited about something that you like to do, but you're not able to do it anymore due to
Okay.
your parents.
So,
Like that. Doesn't work.
yeah,
Well, like,
right.
talk
And again,
it
there's
out.
different circumstances, but one strategy.
There's only so much talking out with Hispanic parents. There's only so much.
Right. So again, sometimes you try to share with them how it feels, and if they're not able to respond, right, then you know at least that you've tried, right? Now again, if you're hurting, sometimes it's important just to have a confidant, someone that you can share those feelings with if your parents aren't able to respond to those needs. Because you got to have an outlet, otherwise it just kind of builds up and you feel almost sometimes like a powder keg, you're just going to blow, right? And you don't want that to happen because that creates more drama, right? Then you're part of the problem rather than part of the solution. All right, now we've got some people over here in the win-lose, okay? Now how are things going at home?
I think they're great.
They're pretty good. Yay! I'm winning a lot, right? Okay. Now, you obviously stood over here because you realize that you get a lot of things. Do you get to always show that appreciation to your parents? Do you think your parents get what they sometimes need from you? What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think your parents need from you?
Good attitude and
Attitude is good.
not be out. Yeah.
Spoiled. Get spoiled. Respect. Appreciation. Parents often, if you just really thank them, it goes a long way. Parents make a lot of sacrifices, right, Miss Heather?
Yes.
So if you just come to expect it and you don't show appreciation, they begin to think they're now being taken for granted or being taken advantage of, right? So what are some ways that we show appreciation and respect to our parents? What are some ways that we can do that?
Doing good in school.
Okay, doing our part, which is getting our education, because they're trying to invest in our future, but what else? What can we do personally for them?
Helping out at the house.
Helping out. When you see that they're doing work, you say, oh Mom, here, let me come help you. And she goes, who said that, right? You know, like, whoa, that would be a real pleasant surprise, especially if you see them having a tough day, right? What else, Bethany?
Thank you.
A thank you. You know, sometimes you just kind of walk in and you say, you know what? I really want to thank you for the dinner you cooked last night. That was just really good. And I know we kind of take it for granted. I just want to tell you how much we appreciate it. I've got a friend who, their mom doesn't cook at all, you know, and I'm just so thankful that I've got a mom who doesn't cook, you know.
I would send her into a rant. See, these people who says you're glad you have a mother like me because I cook for her. She'll get into a full speech and I'll have to listen to it.
But you know what? Sometimes
And it's even
listening
worse
to the
if I
speech
cause
is
it.
what they need. They just need to kind of get out It's tough being a parent, you know? Yes?
I make my grandma like pink lemonade.
There you go. Now I'll tell you something that I did. From a family of 7 kids, my dad worked, my mom stayed at home taking care of 7 kids. It was a big responsibility. When my dad came home, he did not like his job, but he did it to support the family. I could see he'd come home almost every day, just tired, worn out. And I try to kind of make the effort to meet him, you know, because I'm doing stuff. But I would sense when he was getting home, and I'd go to the door and I'd greet him, you know. Just like, you know, little kids, you know, greet their parents, are glad to see him. As an older kid, I still went and kind of greeted my dad. I said, Dad, you look thirsty. Can I get you something to drink? And my dad would just beam, because where were my other 6 brothers and sisters? I don't know. But I was there to appreciate my dad, and he really appreciated just a little bit of that appreciation for the sacrifice he was making, and we've had a great relationship all of our life. I call him every weekend, maybe call them and check in and see how they're doing, right? So that appreciation can go a long way, where you could then step into win-win, because they're getting their needs met and you're getting your needs met, right? Now I see quite a few people standing over here in the lose-win, right?
Well, I'm kind of like half and half.
You're half and half.
It's like different with my mom
I
and my
need to be
dad.
over here.
You're kind of over there? Okay.
Like with my mom, it's like a win-win. Like I understand, like, because she has a disability, and I understand what she needs help with, and you know, we have like a respect, and she's very grateful that my brother and I help